G'day guys. The original Raspberry Pi Zero was released back at the end of 2015, with a slight redesign adding a camera connector, releasing just a few months later in 2016. 1 year later, in February of 2017, they once again redesigned it, adding built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This is the board we have here. All three versions have basically the same specs, featuring a BCM2835 system on a chip, ARM11 CPU, and only 512 meg of RAM. They also all use micro USB for power and mini HDMI for video. There are 2 pins on the board you can solder to get composite video out, which is actually really good for retro gaming on an old CRT. When the 0W first came out, it was around $10 Australian delivered from Core Electronics, which at the time was a bargain. They are currently around $31 delivered on the same site, and at that price, there are much better options available. I remember seeing a load of people touting the Pi0W as a desktop replacement when it first came out, and naturally, after giving it a go myself, I was pleasantly surprised at how capable it actually was. Fast forward to 2025, and I've seen multiple people saying feature creep and bloat has made its way into Raspbian over the years, which has made it basically unusable on the Pi0W. So today, I thought we would try out the latest 32-bit version of Raspbian with desktop and recommended software from November 19th, 2024, and see if it's really as bad as people make it out to be. We'll need a mini HDMI to full-size HDMI adapter, a micro USB to full-size USB Type-A adapter, a wireless keyboard and mouse, you can see here's our receiver, and obviously, the OS written to a fresh SD card. I'm just using a cheap SanDisk Ultra 32GB. Let's get everything plugged in and boot it up. We've got everything set up. We'll just plug in the micro USB power cable and see how we go. There we go, we do have the Raspberry Pi logo, which is great. You can see release 5.5 November 2024. We're a little bit over a minute in and it is still booting. There we go. Finally got something to change. Looks like it has reset. I believe it does expand the file system on its first boot to use the entire SD card, so that's probably why it took so long. We can see it starting all the services on the bottom. It is taking quite a while to boot. We're at around the 4-minute mark now, and we're finally on the desktop. Well, almost. Unfortunately, it's not detecting my wireless keyboard and mouse, so we'll try and find out why that is. And we're back. It turned out the USB OTG adapter I was using was a little bit faulty, so I swapped it out with a good one, and it's working now. We'll go next. We'll change country. A little bit slow to open. You can see it's a little bit laggy as well. Not a good sign already. We want to use the US keyboard, and we'll go next. Straight away, it is extremely laggy. You can see the scrolling bar is a little bit choppy, so that's not a good sign. This is taking quite a while. So it took about 5 minutes to get to the next step, and we'll create an account. Let's call SJSL, see if it can find my wireless networks. So I've left it for another 5 minutes and it still hasn't found it, so I'll just go skip and we'll try and connect to it later. Keep it as Chromium. Since we don't have Wi-Fi, we'll just go skip. That took quite a while to get this pop-up. Click OK. Now it says it's ready to go. I'll restart and I'll take note of exactly how long it takes to boot. It took 3.5 minutes from power off to get to the loaded desktop. That is pretty bad. So now we're finally here. We'll see if we can connect to our Wi-Fi. So I did find my access point container, which is good. Not too sure why it didn't find it during its initial setup. And we are connected. I'm glad Wi-Fi does work. I was a bit worried about that. What do we have installed? We've got some programming tools, LibreOffice, Chromium and Firefox, VLC. You can see the mouse cursor is quite laggy as well. We've got image viewer, a couple of games, KiCad, which is interesting. And a couple of accessories, nothing too special there. Help docs and settings. So already the desktop is incredibly laggy. You can see the mouse is jumping around. That is a terrible sign. I think we'll start off with some web browsing. We'll open up Chromium. We did get a pop-up, not too sure what Neon SIMD is. I'm guessing we can't run Chromium. We'll try Firefox. Unless we need to do an update actually. I might go to Terminal. It did mention during its initial setup that it wanted to do a full system update, but we couldn't because we didn't have Wi-Fi then. We'll go sudo apt get update. It does seem to be stuck at reading package lists at 0%, which is not a good sign. It's been about 30 seconds. I did accidentally open 2 terminals. Oh, the entire computer is actually locked up. Mouse isn't moving, and the time has stopped in the top right corner. It looks like opening a terminal was a little bit too much for it. That's disappointing. I'll give it another minute. And if it still doesn't come back, I will do a hard reset. I did end up restarting it, and another about 3 minutes later, finally booted. You can see the mouse is still incredibly laggy. I wonder if there's a task manager, something like HTOP. Here we go, task manager. We'll see if it's thrashing the CPU in the background. It's taking quite a while to open. There we go. So CPU usage 100%, hopefully it drops down, and it doesn't seem to be. We've still got plenty of free RAM, so it's not a RAM issue. It just seems to be doing too much in the background. We'll go to more details and see if it shows us anything else. I did click it, but nothing's open yet. So clicking it just seems to add another tab, PID, but the CPU is still at 100%. That's not a good sign. There we go, it finally dropped down to 55, 46. So something was hammering it in the background. Oh, it's back up to 100. It reminds me of a fresh Windows home install where everything's running in the background. You've got ads running, Netflix is trying to pop up, get you to sign up. That's disappointing for Linux. So 10%, it's finally dropped down, although it is going back up again. We'll close off Task Manager and we'll see if we can do the updates at once. Show updates. Fair bit. I guess we'll install it all. I'm assuming this is going to take forever, so I'll pause and we'll come back when it eventually updates, or if anything interesting happens. Unfortunately, it has locked up again. I've waited about 10 minutes and it hasn't resolved itself. I think I'll do one more restart and we'll see if we can get anything to work on it. Also, the indicator light has gone completely off, so it's definitely not doing anything. We're back on the desktop once more, and it did take about 3.5 minutes to boot, as usual. And you can see the mouse cursor is still laggy. We'll try Open Chromium again and seeing if anything updated or if it completely hung. I'm pretty sure it didn't update at all though. Actually, I might skip Chromium and go down to Firefox, see if that has any dependency issues. There we go. It's not supported on the Pi0W. This does just go to show that although this is the latest build available for the Pi0W, they did not have it in mind when building the image, since it is pretty much unusable. We'll click OK if we can, and I will mount a flash drive and see if we can get some local media playback working. I'll open up a file manager, again if it lets us. You can see on the top right, it did mount, which is good. Okay, so we've loaded the file manager, didn't take too long actually. See if we can open our flash drive. Just got some Big Buck Bunny test videos on there. See if we can play any. It is taking quite a while. There we go, desktop icon finally appeared. And it removed itself. I didn't eject it. It just must have crashed. We'll open it up again. And it's no longer there. I think we'll call it there with this one. So is the latest version of Raspbian suitable for the Raspberry Pi0W? I would say absolutely not. Do not waste your time with it. It is possible the issues were due to our SD card. However, I have used the same SD card in multiple other devices, including as the boot drive on my Orange Pi 03, and never had any issues. Also, as mentioned at the start of the video, what prompted this was the number of reports online just saying how bloated the latest version of Raspbian is for these Raspberry Pi Zeros. So I think it's pretty safe to say it's not just me. Unfortunately, looking at their archives online, they no longer host a version from 2017. I guess since it is pretty outdated, but I would still like to try and find a 2017 version, just so we can compare it to the latest version. I would probably recommend starting off with a base image, something like Diet Pi, or maybe a plain server image, and then installing your desktop environment from there. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, or if your experience with the latest version of Raspbian on these Pi Zeros was any different, please let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.